The planet was a graveyard of forgotten civilizations. Its skies, once teeming with life, now hung heavy with ash and silence. The ruins of ancient cities stretched across the horizon, their skeletal remains jutting out like broken teeth. It was a place where time had stopped and the universe had moved on. But amidst the desolation, two figures moved, a human man and an alien woman. Captain Elias Grant adjusted the oxygen mask on his face, the hiss of the regulator a constant reminder of the planet's thin, toxic atmosphere. His boots crunched over the cracked ground, the sound echoing in the eerie stillness. He glanced at his companion, Zura, her luminescent skin casting a faint blue glow in the dim light. Her elongated eyes, with their vertical pupils, scanned the horizon with a mix of curiosity and sorrow. "Are you sure this is the place?" Elias asked, his voice muffled by the mask. Zara nodded, her voice melodic yet tinged with melancholy. "This is Solara. Once, it was the jewel of the galaxy. Now it is a tomb." Elias frowned. He had heard the stories of Solara, a planet that had thrived with advanced technology and a culture that spanned millennia. But something had gone wrong. The details were lost to history, but the result was clear: a dead world, abandoned by the universe. "Why did you bring me here, Zura?" Elias asked, his tone softening. "What are we looking for?" Zara hesitated, her slender fingers brushing against the hilt of the energy blade at her side. "Hope," she said finally, "and perhaps redemption." Elias didn't press further. He had learned that Zara spoke in riddles when the truth was too heavy to bear. They had been traveling together for months, ever since their paths crossed on a derelict space station. She had saved his life then, and he had pledged to help her in return. But he still didn't fully understand her mission or her past. As they ventured deeper into the ruins, the air grew colder and the shadows lengthened. The remnants of Solara's grandeur surrounded them, towering spires of crystal and metal, now shattered and corroded. Strange symbols adorned the walls, their meanings lost to time. Zara paused before a massive archway, its surface etched with intricate patterns. She placed her hand on the stone, and for a moment, Elias thought he saw a flicker of light beneath her touch. "This is it," she whispered. "The heart of Solara." Elias stepped closer, his breath fogging up the inside of his mask. "What's inside?" "A secret," Zara replied. "One that could change everything." She pushed against the archway, and with a groan of ancient mechanisms, it began to open. Beyond lay a vast chamber, illuminated by a soft, pulsating light. At its center stood a pedestal, upon which rested a crystalline orb, radiating an otherworldly glow. Elias felt a shiver run down his spine. "What is that?" "The last light of Solara," Zara said, her voice trembling. "A repository of knowledge, a record of everything my people were, and everything we could have been." Elias watched as she approached the pedestal, her movements reverent. He could sense the weight of her emotions, the burden of a legacy she carried alone. "Why show me this?" he asked. Zara turned to him, her eyes glistening with unshed tears. "Because I cannot do this alone. The last light holds the key to reviving Solara, but it requires a sacrifice, one I'm not sure I can make." Elias stepped closer, his hand reaching out to hers. "You're not alone, Zura. Whatever it takes, I'm with you." For a moment, silence hung between them, heavy with unspoken words. Then Zara nodded, her resolve hardening. She placed her hand on the orb, and the chamber was flooded with light. Images and sounds erupted around them, visions of Solara's past, its triumphs and tragedies. Elias saw cities of light, starships that sailed between galaxies, and a people united in purpose. But he also saw the fall, a cataclysm that tore the planet apart, leaving only ruins in its wake. As the vision subsided, Zara's voice echoed in the chamber. The last light can restore Solara, but it requires a life force to activate it. One of us must give our essence to reignite the planet's core. Elias's heart sank. You mean, one of us has to die? Zara nodded, her expression pained. It was my intention to make the sacrifice. But now, I cannot ask that of you. Elias took a deep breath, the weight of the decision pressing down on him. He thought of his life before meeting Zara, a solitary existence, drifting through the stars with no purpose. She had given him meaning, a reason to fight for something greater than himself. You don't have to ask, he said finally. I'll do it. Zara's eyes widened. Elias, no. He cut her off with a smile. You said this could change everything. If my life can bring back a world like Solara, then it's worth it. Tears streamed down Zara's face as she stepped closer, her hand reaching out to touch his cheek. You are more than I deserve, Elias Grant. He placed his hand over hers, his heart pounding in his chest. Just promise me one thing. Bring Solara back. Make it the jewel of the galaxy again. Zara nodded, her voice choked with emotion. I promise. Elias took a deep breath, then stepped onto the pedestal. The light from the orb enveloped him, warm and comforting. He felt a surge of energy, a connection to something vast and ancient. As his essence merged with the last light, he felt no fear, only peace. The chamber erupted in a blinding light, and Zara shielded her eyes. When the light faded, Elias was gone, and the orb pulsed with a new, vibrant energy. Tears streaming down her face, Zara placed her hand on the orb once more. For you, Elias, she whispered. The ground beneath her feet began to tremble, and the ruins of Solara started to shift and reform. The skies cleared, the ash dissipating to reveal a bright, blue sun. Life returned to the planet, its cities rising from the ashes like phoenixes. As Solara was reborn, Zara stood amidst the rejuvenated world, her heart heavy with loss, but filled with hope. She knew that Elias's sacrifice had not been in vain. Solara would rise again, a testament to the courage and love of a human man who had given everything for a world not his own. And as the first rays of sunlight bathed the planet, Zara whispered a final farewell to the man who had changed her life and the fate of an entire world.